So, it's been a while since I've done this segment, but welcome back once again to Legends of Evil, where I talk about the villains from outside the comics. And today, we're going to be talking about a Danny Phantom rogue. I haven't done one since, what, Vlad, I think? Yeah, I haven't done a Danny Phantom villain since Vlad Plasmius. So, without further ado, let's talk about Ember Mclain. Now, Ember is a very interesting villain, and here's kind of a thing I've learned about from the Danny Phantom Rogues Gallery, outside of maybe one or two. That being is that we don't really get a full origin story for her. We don't know much about Skulker. We don't know much about, Youngblood or anything else. A lot of the other villains. I'm sure we get a few backstories here and there, but never about the other members of the Danny Phantom Rogues Gallery. I always wanted to know that. But Ember first made her appearance in, I believe, it was definitely early season 1. In an episode called Fanning the Flames, where she basically became a teen idol overnight with a song, and it turned out that she was hypnotizing people so she could, gain more power, because the more you say her name, the more she gets more power, and the more people adore her. She was kind of like Adagio in the Dazzlings. Yeah, it was pretty much like she was Adagio in the Dazzlings before they were even a thing. Think about that. So I always thought she was cool. She was a rock star type villain. She had a guitar that could give her, allow her to tell. She could use it to create force fields or energy blasts or make people fall in love. All sorts of crazy things. And the whole thing with her was that she basically stopped Danny by for a little bit, so she could get her plan together. Was by making him fall in love with Sam, and it had to be Sam to stop her. Well, she had to knock Danny out of the funk, and Danny managed to stop her with an unconventional way with Tucker. So anyway, Ember didn't really return until another episode, which introduced another villain, Youngblood. Which I always found odd that we had an introduction of one villain, and then we had the first introduction of one villain, but it was really the machinations of another villain. I always thought that was kind of weird. With Ember, yeah, she basically teamed up with Youngblood, who was with a ghost pirate crew, to take over Amity Park, and basically, instead of using the kids, use the parents to power his ship and make her adore, again, the whole adore me thing. I know, it was yeah, I was like, well, I feel like the battle plan for that was basically for Ember was like, well, kids didn't work. What about adults? I wonder if that'll work. I feel like that was kind of the train of thought for Ember at the moment, where she was just like, well, that didn't work. Let me try the adults now. If it doesn't work, it's the same plan over, just with a few tweaks here and there. Instead of making a rock song, she instead made... Oh, hello, motorcycle. I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up. But yeah, instead of using a rock song, she instead used like a soft, kind of like something you'd hear in the Grand Theft Auto music, like a ambient music in Grand Theft Auto Vice City or something. I don't know why I chose that right out the gate. Anything, it sounded very 80s synth. There you go. There's the proper usage for that parallel. Yay! I can't make sentences. Go me. So Ember was a very powerful ghost. Again, the more people adored her, the more powerful she became. She could also use her hair like a weapon as a teleportation device. Also, she could create her own energy blast, but I'm pretty sure that was because of her own power when she got enough of it, because she really depended on the guitar first and foremost. Among other things, so Ember really became more of a side villain for a while, until teaming up with Spectra and Kitty to banish all the men from Amity Park and have them rule the mind control of the women and basically turn into an all-female city, leaving only Jazz, Maddie, and Sam. Why did I forget Sam? Yeah, Jazz, Maddie, and Sam to stop the three of those ghosts, while Jack and Danny were out fishing and Danny was out battling Skulker. Ember's always been a cool villain. She's she's got the cool goth punk rock look going on. Of course, the guitar's a really unique villain. I mean, yeah, we've seen musical themed villains before. That's not, that's nothing big here. It's never, we've always seen musical themed villains in comic books and other animated shows. But Ember was really cool, like having her own song, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys remember and probably have it on your MP3 players or iPods. I know I do. Or did. I think I lost the song somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, that song is still really popular. That song, Remember, Ember, was always really popular, and it always kind of led people to have their own headcanon that maybe Ember was in love once, and she was cheated on, and she either committed suicide or died in some other way. That's the big thing right there, is that, that's kind of the headcanon that people got from the song. Again, I wish Butch Hartman would just give us, like, definitive ways of how these people died. But on the other hand, I understand that this is a show for kids at its core. So maybe telling people how people died, probably not the best angle. So maybe it was best kept in the air. Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Anyway, so Ember, again, was a fan-favorite villain that she only really had 3 episodes, and she did guest star in several of the movies here and there, but she never really had a major villain role by herself from then on, because the other 2 times it was her teaming up with Youngblood, and the other time was, of course, Spectra and Kitty. So she never really had, since Fanning the Flames, a solo villain role. But on the other hand, you could argue that, again, she was the big mastermind behind Youngblood's scheme. But yeah, she wasn't having a solo plan for herself. And again, that other one was just more like a happy accident with Kitty, and Spectra. And I don't mean to discredit her. She's one of my favorite villains in Danny Phantom. I'm just saying that she never really had a solo episode to herself again. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, say, oh, she sucks. I'm just saying she never, since Fanning the Flames, she was more like teaming up with other villains. And it's kind of heavily hinted at she had a thing with Skulker. Although I imagine it wouldn't be much, because if you all know what's under that armor, yeah, it's not a lot. There's not a lot of ghosts there under all that armor. So very unfortunate for old Skulky. But yeah, Ember's, Ember's one of the cooler she's one of the coolest villains, and I think it was always fun to see her show up. Tara Strong, who most of you guys know best as voicing 90% of everything, it's very clear she had a lot of fun with this. Even though she didn't sing the song that the character's best known for, she still knocks it out of the park voicing Ember. I thought that was a lot of fun. Anyway, so there you go, guys. There is Ember Mclain for you. So you guys comment below, let me know. What did you guys think of Ember? Did you guys like her? Did you guys hate her? Did you want to see her do more in the show? And if they brought it back, what would you like to see done with her? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.